ते गोकुल तारुणी मंडल महिते राधे जय जय माधव जय राधे जय जय माधव जय दामोदर रति वर्धन वेचे दामोदर रति वर्धन वेचे हरि निष्कुट वृंदाविते हरि निष्कुट वृंदाविते राधे जय जय माधव श्री राधे जय जय माधव वृषभानुदधि नव शशि लेखे वृषभानुदधि नव शशि लेखे ललिता सखी गुण रमित विशाखे ललिता सखी गुण रमित विशाखे राधे जय जय माधव श्री राधे जय जय माधव करुणा करुमयि करुणा भरीते करुणा कुरुमयि करुणा भरीते तनक सनातन वरनि चतरिते तनक सनातन वरनि चतरिते राधे जय जय माधव श्री राधे जय जय माधव गोकुल तारुणी मंडल महिते गोकुल तारुणी मंडल महिते दामोदर रति वर्धन वेशे राधे जय जय माधव श्री राधे जय जय माधव श्रीमती राधारानी आविर्भाव तिथि महामहोत्सव की जय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप तदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते ताप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शुभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशता। Hare Krishna. Today is the most auspicious appearance day of Srimati Radharani. You must have heard many times that those devotees who follow Lord Vishnu, they are known as Vaishnavas. And those devotees who follow Lord Krishna, what are they known as? Only Ramya knows. What are the devotees who follow Krishna are known? Yes, Ravindra Prabhu? You don't know?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Priyanka?
Karsneya.
Yes, they are called Kashniya. Those who are followers of Krishna. And those who are followers of Srimati Radharani, what are they known as, Manoram Prabhu? Those who are actually following Srimati Radharani, followers of Lord Vishnu are known as Vaishnavas. Followers of Lord Krishna are known as Kashneya. What are the followers of Srimati Radharani known as? See, you have no clue? Yes, Manini Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Gaudiya Prabhuji.
Yes, they are called Gaudiya. So how much you are Gaudiya, you can estimate. If one is not following Srimati Radharani, then he is not in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. She is the supreme goddess. Once, Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj was traveling in a train, and in that train, in her compartment, there was one professor lady. And Maharaj was reading Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when Maharaj closed the book, that madam, she opened with gunfire. And she immediately, pounced upon Maharaj saying that why do you people declare that the Supreme Lord or God has only to be male? Why he cannot be female? And Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj said, for you there is good news. That the Supreme Lord also manifests as female in the form of Srimati Radha. The Supreme Lord can take Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupa. So the most merciful form that the Supreme Lord manifests is in the form of Srimati Radharani. Srila Prabhupada writes in one of his purports that she is the tender-hearted, feminine counterpart of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. She is the tender-hearted, feminine counterpart of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. She is most merciful. And without her mercy, no one can connect with Krishna. So, very important day for all of us. Because without the mercy and blessings of Srimati Radharani, one cannot even begin the process of devotional service or practice. So, my, what should I say? My aspiration is to study from Sri Caitanya Caritamrta, because Pushtas Kaviraj Goswami has very impeccably described the Tattva of Srimati Radharani in Caitanya Caritamrta. So I'll pick up from there. We'll see how many verses we can cover. So Kaviraj Goswami is saying, this is the confidential reasons of the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Day before yesterday, I read out. At the first, having first given hints about the verse describing the principal reason why Lord appeared, now I shall manifest its full meaning. This is the condensation of the full reasons for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearing. in the Radha Bhav, in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Radha Krishna Pranay Vrikriti Ladini Shakti Asma Ekatmano Api Bhuvapura Devadam Gatauto Chaitanyakyam Prakata Madhuna Tadvayam Chaikyam Aptam Radha Bhavduti Swalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupa. Very concentrated words. This is composed by the Sarup Damodar Goswami. He said that the loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. So when the Lord aspires or he has an emotion to exchange his loving sentiment, so that sentiment or that exchange, the Lord can reciprocate only with his pleasure-giving potency. And the pleasure-giving potency is Srimati Radharani. Further, he says that although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, Ek Atmano, they are one. Previously, they separated themselves. Pura means previously. Formerly. And what has happened? Deha Bhedam Gatauto. Deha Bhedam means they have separated themselves in two bodies. Ek Atma, but two Shariras. They separated themselves. Now the two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. That is what the Rupa Goswami glorifies. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahi Anya. I bow down to him, who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani. Radha Bhav Dviti Suvalitam. Bhava means the mood, and Dviti means the complexion or the luster. So he has borrowed both the mood also and also the complexion. Although he is Krishna himself, Krishna Swarupa. He is Krishna Swarupa. This text is from the diary of Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami. It appears as the fifth of the first 14 verses of Sri Caitanya. Now see the Tattva. He will explain how they are one. Radha Krishna Ekatma Tuhi Deha Dhari Anyo Anya Vilas Ras Aswadane Kari. Very famous verse. Radha and Krishna are one and the same. Ekatma. But they have assumed two bodies. Why? What is the purpose? Anyo Anya Vilas Rasa. Because they want to enjoy each other and they want to exchange the loving transcendental mellows. So tasting the mellows of love, for that rasa aswadane, they have differentiated themselves in two bodies. Prabhupada's purport. The two transcendentalists, Radha and Krishna, are puzzled to materialists. Prabhupada says that it is very bewildering to people in this material bodies. The above description of Radha and Krishna from the diary of Srila Sarup Damodar Goswami is a condensed explanation, but one needs great spiritual insight to understand the mystery of these two personalities. As such, Krishna Tattva is so confidential. How is Krishna Tattva confidential? Tattva you understand, na? Tattva means the truth. The Tattva of Krishna is very confidential. How? Pradeep? How the Tattva of Krishna is confidential?
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, it can be understood by only pure devotees.
No. Why it is so confidential? Where is it conclusion that it is confidential? What is the pramana? What is the evidence?
In Bhagavad Gita, Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam.
What is Vidya Namava? That Krishna is speaking, that Vidya is Rajguhyam. I'm asking about the Tattva of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Manoram Prabhu, will you attempt? That's a very simple question. Ravinder?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Janma karma chame divyam.
Yes, simple. Janma karma chame divyam, Krishna is himself declaring. Evam yo veti tattvata, tyaktva deham punarjanma, neti mameti suvardhana. Then he will not have to come back in this material world, in this material body. He will be liberated. Why? Because it is very confidential. So Prabhupada is saying that one needs great spiritual insight to understand the mystery of these two personalities. So Krishna's personality, the person, the janma and the karma, the appearance and the activities of Krishna are very, very confidential. It is very bewildering. He performed marriage with 16,108 wives. He performed Ras Lila with millions and millions of gopis. He took away the clothes of the gopis. So many pastimes he has. It's all bewildering. It's very mystical. And Srimati Radharani is even more confident. She is the most confident in that part. So Prabhupada is saying that it requires great spiritual insight to understand the mystery of these two personalities. One is enjoying in two. Ek Atma, Deha Vedam. Sri Krishna is the potent factor and Srimati Radharani is the internal potency. According to Vedanta philosophy, there is no difference between the potent and the potency. They are identical. Shakti, Shakti Matayor, Abhinna. We cannot differentiate between one and the other any more than we can separate fire from heat. Everything in the absolute is inconceivable in relative existence. Everything. Therefore, in relative cognizance, it is very difficult to assimilate this truth of the oneness between the potent and the potency. The philosophy of inconceivable oneness and difference propounded by Lord Caitanya is the only source of understanding for such intricacies of transcendence. That is Achintya Bheda Bhedatma. In fact, now this is the point. Radharani is the internal potency of Sri Krishna and she eternally intensifies the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Impersonalists cannot understand this without the help of a Mahabhagavata devotee. So in a way, we are all impersonalists. We are being helped to have some understanding. And who is this Mahabhagavata devotee? His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada. The very name Radha suggests that Srimati Radharani is eternally the topmost mistress of the comforts of Sri Krishna. As such, she is the medium transmitting the living entities' service to Sri Krishna. So she is the medium. Devotees in Vrindavan therefore seek the mercy of Srimati Radharani in order to be recognized as loving servitors of Lord Sri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally approaches the fallen conditioned soul of the Iron Age to deliver the highest principle of transcendental relationships with the Lord. The activity of Lord Chaitanya are primarily in the role of the pleasure-giving portion of his internal potency. The absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the omnipotent form of transcendental existence, knowledge, and bliss and whole. His internal potency is exhibited first as Sat, or existence, or in other words, as the portion that expands the existence function of the Lord. When the same potency displays full knowledge, it is called Chit. Very, very confidential thing here. Gopal is saying that as the portion that expands its existence function of the Lord, it is called Sat. And when the potency displays knowledge, it is called Chit or Samvedi, which expands to the transcendental form of the Lord. Finally, when the same potency plays as the pleasure-giving medium, it is known as Ladini, or the transcendental blissful potency. Thus, the Lord manifests its internal potency in three transcendental divisions. We have discussed this so many times. Sandhini, Samvit, and Ladini. So the most important point is that they are both one. Ek Atma, and there is only Deha Bheda. There is only the Bheda in the Deha. Se doi eke be Caitanya Gosai Rasa Aswadite Dono Vaila Eke Thani. Now to enjoy rasa, they have appeared in one body as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ithi lage age kari tara vivarana ya ite hoye gore mahima kathana. Therefore, I shall first delineate the position of Radha and Krishna. From that description, the glory of Lord Chaitanya will be known. Radhika hoy na Krishne prana vikar Swarup Shakti Ladini Nama Yaha. Srimati Radharani, Radhika, is the transformation of Krishna's love. It's very important. Radhika Haina Krishnera Pranay Vikar. Pranay means is love, is emotion, is sentiment of love. And she the Vikar, or she the transformation from that love. Her Swarupa is made of Krishna's love. That is why Kaviraj Goswami is saying that Srimati Radhika is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is the internal energy called Ladini. Ladini Karai Krishna Ananda Swadana Ladini Radwara Kare Bhaktera Poshana. So this pleasure-giving potency of the Supreme Lord, Ladini, it gives pleasure and nourishes his devotees also. Both it gives pleasure to Krishna and it gives the required nourishment, the relishment to those who are practicing the process. Srila Jiva Goswami has elaborately discussed the Ladini potency in his Priti Sandarbha. He says that the Vedas clearly state only devotional service can lead one to the personality of Godhead. Only devotional service can help a devotee meet the Supreme Lord face to face. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is attracted by devotional service. And as such, with the ultimate supremacy of Vedic knowledge, rests in knowing the science of devotional service. What is the particular attraction that makes the Supreme Lord enthusiastic to accept? What is the particular attraction that makes the Supreme Lord enthusiastic to accept devotional service? And what is the nature of such service? The Vedic scriptures inform that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, is self-sufficient. And the Maya nations can never influence him at all. Therefore, the potency that overcomes the Supreme must be purely spiritual. Such a potency cannot be anything of this material manifestation. The bliss enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be of material composition. Like the impersonalist confession of the bliss of Brahman. Devotional service is reciprocation between two, and therefore it cannot be located simply within oneself. Therefore, the bliss of self-realization Brahmana cannot be equal to devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has three kinds of internal potency. We discussed that. The Ladini Shakti or pleasure potency, the Sandhini Shakti or existential potency, and the Samvit Shakti or cognitive potency. In the Vishnu Puran, the Lord is addressed as follows. O Lord, you are the support of everything. The three attributes, Ladini, Sandhini, and Samvit, exist in you as one spiritual element. But the material words which cause happiness, mercy, and mixture of the two are not done, do not exist in you, for you have no material qualities. Ladini is the personal manifestation of the blissfulness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by which he enjoys pleasure. Because the pleasure potency is particularly present in the Supreme Lord. The theory of the impersonal is that the Lord appears in the material mode of goodness cannot be accepted. The impersonalist conclusion is against the Vedic version that the Lord possesses a transcendental pleasure potency. When the pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is exhibited by His grace in the person of a devotee, please see the words. When the pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord when the pleasure potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is exhibited by His grace in the person of a devotee, that manifestation is called love of God. Love of God is an epithet for the pleasure potency of the Lord. Therefore, devotional service reciprocated between the Lord and His devotee is an exhibition of transcendental pleasure potency of the Lord. The potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that always enriches him with transcendental bliss is not material. But the Shankarites have accepted it because they are ignorant of the identity of the Supreme Lord and His pleasure potency. Though the ignorant persons cannot understand the distinction between impersonal spiritual bliss and the variegatedness of the spiritual pleasure potency. The Ladini potency gives the Lord all transcendental pleasure, and the Lord bestows such a potency upon His devotee. This is very important. See, this last statement is very, very important. The Ladini potency gives the Lord all transcendental pleasures. And the Lord bestows such a potency. Which potency? Ladini potency. On His pure devotees. सच्चिदानंद पूर्ण कृष्ण रस्वरूपा एक चित शक्ति ताराधरे तीन रूप आनंदम से लादिनी शतम से संदिनी चिदम से संवित यारे कही मानी Ladini is the aspect of bliss, Sandhini of eternal existence, and Samvit of cognizance, which is also accepted as knowledge. We have discussed this. Ladini, Sandhini, Samvit. Okay, already finished. तत्वं विशुद्धं वासुदेव शब्दितं यद ईयते तत्र पुमान् अपवृत तत्त्वे च तस्मिन् भगवान् वासुदेवो यदोक्षजो मे मनसा विधीयते. The condition of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva, in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed without any covering, is called Vasudeva. You have heard what it means to be on the platform of Vasudeva. In that pure state, the Supreme Personality who is beyond the material senses, who is known as Vasudeva, is perceived by the mind. This is Lord Shiva speaking in Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna Bhagavata Gyan Samvite Rasa Brahma Jnana Adik Sab Tara Parivar. The essence of the Samvit potency is knowledge. Samvit itself is knowledge. That is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. The essence of the Samvit potency is knowledge, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Lord Krishna. All other kinds of knowledge, such as the knowledge of Brahman, are its components. Ladini Sara Prema, Prema Sara Bhav, Bhavera Paramakashta, Nama Mahabhav. The essence of the Ladini potency is love of God. And the essence of love of God is emotion bhava. And the ultimate development of emotion is bhava. The product of Ladini Shakti is love of Godhead, which has two divisions, namely pure love of Godhead and adulterated love of God. Only when the Ladini Shakti emanates from Sri Krishna and is bestowed upon the living being to attract him, during the living being, how does the living being becomes a pure lover of God? But when the same Ladini Shakti is adulterated by the external when the same Ladini Shakti is regulated by the external material energy and emanates from the living being, it does not attract Krishna. On the contrary, living being becomes attracted to the glamour of material energy. This is Baddha. And the first is Mukta. At the time, instead of becoming mad with love of Godhead, the living beings becomes mad after material senses. And because of his association with the quadratic modes of material nature, he is captivated by his interaction of distressful harm and unhappy feelings. Mahabhava Swarupa Shri Radha Thakurani Sarva Guna Khani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Very beautiful verse. That Mahabhav Swarupa, she is the embodiment of this very, very rare Mahabhav, and she is the Swarupa. Sarva Guna Khani, she has all the good qualities. She is endowed with all the best qualities. तयोर्मध्ये राधिका सर्वताधिका महाभाव स्वरूपे पुनेरति वर्षेय. Of the two gopis, Radha and Chandravali, Srimati Radharani is superior in all respects. She is the embodiment of Mahabhav and she surpasses all in good quality. कृष्ण प्रेम भाविते यारा चित्तेन्द्रिय काया कृष्ण निज शक्ति राधा क्रीड़ा रसा। Her mind, senses, and body are steeped in love for Krishna. She is Krishna's own energy, and she helps him in his pastimes. So here, Kaviraj Goswami is detailing, is removing the concept confidentiality part. He says that her mind and senses and body are attended, steeped in love for Krishna. She is Krishna's own energy. आनंद चिन्मय रस प्रतिभाविता भेष कबीर या एव निज रूप तस्य कलाभि गोलोक एव निवसति अखिलात्म भूतो गोविंदमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who resides in his own realm, Golok, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure, and who embodies the aesthetic potency, Radharani. Their compassions are their freedom. This is Brahmaji's prayer from Brahma Samhita, and he is submitting. Krishnera karayaiche rasa swadhana krida rasa hayache suno vivarana. कृष्ण कांता गण देखी त्रिविध प्रकार एक लक्ष्मी गण पूर्व महिषी गण व्रजांगना रूपार कांता दश सा क्षीराधिका होते कांता गणेरा विस्तार. So here the beloved concerts of Krishna are of three kinds: the goddess of fortune, that is Lakshmi Gana, the queens of Dwarika, and the milkmaids of Praja, who are the foremost of all. These concerts all proceed from Radhika. Avatari Krishna Yaiche Kare Avatar Am Shina Radha Hoite Tina Grane Vista. Just as fountainhead Shri Krishna is the cause of all incarnations, so Radha is the cause of all these concerts. Who are the three concerts? Who are the three concerts? Pradeep, who are these three concerts? Eternal concerts. Bolo, we just read. See, I am again very tired. I mean, my eyes are closing. I couldn't sleep. I mean, there was no possibility of any rest during the day again today. If you are not participating, then how can I continue? Avatari Krishna Yaiche Kare Avatar Amshini Radha Hoite Tina Ganer Vista Vaibhav Gana Yena Tara Anga Vibhuti Bimba Pratibimba Rupe Mahishira Rati Tatu. लक्ष्मी गण तारा वैभव विलासम स्वरूपा महिषिनी गण वैभव स्वरूपा आकार स्वभाव भेद व्रज देवी गण काया व्यूह रूप तारे रसेरा कारण बहु कांता बिना नहीं रसेरा उल्लास लीला रे सहाय लागी बहुत प्रकार तार मध्य ब्रज नाना भाव रास भेदे कृष्णा के कराए रस दिखा लीला विषय तार मध्य ब्रज नाना भाव रस भेदे कृष्ण के कराए रस अधिक लीला वेदे Monoram, read. Please read.
Krishna Prabhuji. Translation. Among them are various groups of consorts in Braja who have varieties of sentiments and mellows. They help Lord Krishna test all the sweetness of the rasa dance and other pastimes. Purport. As already explained, Krishna and Radha are one in two. They are identical. Krishna expands himself in multi-incarnations and plenary persons like the Purushas. Similarly, Srimati Radharani expands herself in multi-forms as the goddess of fortune, the queens and the damsels of Braja. Such expansions from Srimati Radharani are all her plenary persons. All these womanly forms of Krishna are expansions corresponding to his plenary expansions of Vishnu forms. These expansions have been compared to reflected forms of the original form. There is no difference between the original form and the reflected forms. The female reflections of Krishna's pleasure potency are as good as Krishna himself. The plenary expansions of Krishna's personality are called Vaibhav Vilash and Vaibhav Prakash, and Radha's expansions are similarly described. The goddess of fortune are her Vaibhav Vilash forms, and the queens are her Vaibhav Prakash forms. The personal associates of Radharani, the damsels of Braja, are direct expansions of her body. As expansions of her personal form and transcendental disposition, they are agents of different reciprocations of love in the pastimes of Lord Krishna under the supreme direction of Srimati Radharani. In the transcendental realm, enjoyment is fully realized in variety. The exuberance of transcendental mellows is increased by the association of a large number of personalities similar to Radharani, who are all known as gopis or sakhis. The variety of innumerable mistresses is a source of relish for Sri Krishna, and therefore these expansions from Srimati Radharani are necessary for enhancing the pleasure potency of Sri Krishna. They
This is
are
very important. So wait. That how all the milk maidens, the gopi ganas, and even the manjaris or sakhis, all of them, they are expansions of Srimati Radha. And what is the purpose Prabhupada is mentioning here? That the variety of innumerable mistresses is a source of relish for Sri Krishna, and therefore these expansions from Srimati Radharani are necessary for enhancing the pleasure potency of Sri Krishna. Okay, go ahead.
Their transcendental exchanges of love are the super excellent affairs of the pastimes in Vrindavan. By these expansions of Srimati Radharani's personal body, She helps Lord Krishna test the rasa dance and other similar activities. Srimati Radharani being the central part of the Raslila
Central
flower,
petal. She's the central.
central petal. Srimati Radharani being the central petal of the Rasalila flower is also known by the names found in the following verses.
Govinda Nandani Radha, Govinda Mohini, Govinda Sarvasva Sarva Kanta Shiromani. Please read.
Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda, and she is also the enchantress of Govinda. She is the be all and end all of Govinda, and the crest jewel of all his consorts.
So she is Govind Anandani Radha. Very beautiful verse. The purpose of her existence is to give pleasure to Krishna. And she is also Govind Mohan. She enchants and captivates the Supreme Lord by her love and service. And she is Govind Sarvasva. Sarvas means all in all. Prabhupada very vertically says that she is be all and end all. Easy ways to say she is all in all. And she is Sarv Kanta Shiromani. And she is the first jewel of all the troops. Okay. Devi Krishna Mahi Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarv Lakshmi Mahi Sarvakanti Sammohini Para.
The transcendental goddess Srimati Radharani is the direct counterpart of Lord Sri Krishna.
Very
She is
important. She is the direct counterpart of Lord Sri Krishna. Continue.
She is the central figure for all the goddesses of fortune. She possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all attractive personality of Godhead. She is the primeval internal potency of the Lord.
This verse gives the full explanation of Radharani. Says Krishnamai. What does it mean to be Krishnamai? That was not different from Krishna. And she is called Radhika. And she is Paradevata. She is most worshipped. Devi kahe Tyutamana Parama Sundari Kimma Krishna Puja Pidai Vasati Nagari.
Should I read? Yeah. Devi means resplendent and most beautiful, or else it means the lovely abode of the worship and love sports of Lord Krishna.
Krishnamai Krishna Yara Bhitare Bahire Yaha Yaha Netra Pade Taha Krishna Spure. So further Kaviraj Goswami is explaining what is Krishnamai, what it means to be Krishnamai. Krishnamai means one who is within and without our Lord Krishna. So Krishna means that our entire existence is for the pleasure of Lord Shri Krishna. Bhitare Bahire. And yaha netra pade taha Krishna spure. She sees Lord Krishna everywhere. She casts her glance. Whenever she sees, she sees Krishna. There's one beautiful verse in Chaitanya Caritamrta. It speaks about this principle. Anyone remembers that verse? स्थावर जंगम देखी ना देखी तार मूर्ति सर्वत्र होए इष्ट देह स्फूर्ति. So that personification is Srimati Radharani. That she sees Krishna everywhere. Bahire and Bhitare, both places. Internally, externally, she sees the manifestation of Krishna everywhere. Why? Because she is Krishnamaya. Kimva premara samaya Krishnera swarupa Tara Shakti Tara Saha Poe Kurupa. Or Krishnamaya means that she is identical with Lord Krishna. This is another way. And she embodies the mellow of love. The energy of Lord Krishna is identical with him. So read, Krishnamaya has two different imports.
Krishnamai has two different imports. First, a person who always thinks of Krishna both within and without, and who always remembers only Krishna wherever he goes or whatever he sees, is called Krishnamai. Also, since Krishna's personality is full of love, his loving potency, Radharani, being non-different from him, is called Krishnamai.
Yeah. The two aspects. One is that within and without, she always sees Krishna's presence everywhere and she remembers Krishna. Also, she is the full manifestation of Krishna's love, the loving potency. And she is not different from Krishna. So she is called Krishnamaya. Krishna Mansha Purti Rupa Kare Aradhane Ateva Radhika Nam Purane Bakhane. Her worship, Aradhana, consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Krishna. Krishna Vansha Purti. All the Vansha Purti of everyone is done by Krishna. And every living entity's desires are fulfilled by Supreme Lord Krishna. But that person, the Supreme Person Krishna, his desires are fulfilled by Srimati Radharani. Therefore, the Puranas call her Radhika. Another perspective that her worship. She worships Krishna, Aradhana. The name Radha is derived from the root word Aradhana, which means worship. The personality who excels all in worshipping Krishna may therefore be called Radhika, the greatest servitor. Let's stop here. There are a few calls coming and some persons have come. To some extent, we discussed that what is Srimati Radharani. The beautiful way of knowing Srimati Radharani is that she is Krishnamaya. She is Krishnamaya. So we should pray to her today that whatever Krishna desires, whatever he has given us, his instructions, his message in the form of Bhagavad Gita, that in this life we may be purified to be able to accept, apply, and align our hearts to follow what the Supreme Lord desires. And thus, under her direction and under her blessings, we can fulfill the purpose of human life. Okay, I'll stop here. It is 8:36. I want to take darshan also. So, any one of you has anything to share or mention? Any experience today? So please share. Yes, there should go.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, like you told about the word Radha Prabhuji, Radha, the meaning of Radha, that worshipping means Srimati Radharani worshipping means she follows the what you call, she fulfills the desire of Lord Krishna. The literal meaning of Radha you told, like worship. Worshipping means for her, the worshipping means fulfilling the desire of Lord Krishna. So very nicely you
No,
explained that.
the word Radha comes from the
Comes
root
from
word
Aradhana.
explaining Anurag,
Aradhana. Yes,
which means
Aradhana.
that she excels in worshipping Lord Sri Krishna. Okay.
And the worship is like fulfilling the desire, whatever Lord Krishna desires, he fulfills. So as you nicely mentioned that we should pray to Srimati Radharani that whatever Lord desires from us to follow his instruction and to serve him in association of the devotees, we can do by her mercy only. So this was very inspiring, Prabhuji. Like she is fulfilling the desire of Lord Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So what is your experience in this? What do you want to share? Let us take a vow. Huh? Yatantascha Vidavrata. If you want to come under the shelter of Srimati Radharani, then only by speaking it will not be the right kind of worship of Srimati Radharani. We have to take a firm vow to follow. Then we can please her, and then we can please the Supreme Lord. That Drida Vrata is required. Okay? Anyone else? Okay, then I'm closing here. Yeah. So please open up our heart to pray to Srimati Radharani to remove the anarthas from our heart and the obstacle which is not allowing us to practice and progress in devotional service. By her mercy, by her blessings, this can be easily removed, and we can progress, and we can experience what is Latni, the pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord. Shri Radha Ashtami ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki